where together we spotlight bookkeepers, accounting pros who keep our businesses moving because you deserve to feel proud, confident, and seen. We had a wonderful guest today, but we had some tech issues, so they will be joining us at a different time, but we can't wait for you to hear her story. So, but first, Deb and I are going to talk about some things we have coming up. And first, Deb is going to go with our partner of the week.
Well, our partner of the week this week is Ramp, and we're really excited about Ramp. Ramp is a financial operations platform that helps businesses manage spending, pay bills, track expenses, and close their books all in one place. 60,000 businesses use Ramp, saving $10 billion and 27.5 million hours collectively. I mean, one of the big things that we all hate as accountants and bookkeepers is chasing clients for missing receipts. It's the biggest time sink for us. Ramp matches 70% of receipts automatically within 24 hours. No follow-up emails, no shoebox or crumpled paper at month end. Employees submit expenses under 15 seconds via text, Slack, or the app. Swipe the card, receipt gets captured, memo gets pre-filled. Done. No pile of receipts or expense reports at the end of the month. Every swipe is its own submission with context already attached. The whole fill out your expense report conversation vanishes. I remember when I worked and I had to fill out the expense report. Oh my gosh, it was like awful. 90% of transactions auto-coded to the right GL account, less manual data entry, fewer corrections. Line items, memos, and receipt images sync to QuickBooks Online, Xero, NetSuite, and Sage in real time. No CSV reports, no copy-paste, no middleware between systems. Spend controls kick in at the point of purchase. Business owners set the rules once, and Ramp enforces them every single swipe. The best part? Ramp is free for clients on QBO and Xero, and they sent their accounting partner $500 for testing out the platform internally. So Ramp will really make a change in how you run your business and help your clients run their business, and that's what it's all about. So thanks, Ramp, for being our partner of the week, and let's get started, Donna.
All right. Well, first thing, also Ramp is also doing a small business week starting on May 6th tomorrow. They have a bunch of sessions out there. If you're connected with me on LinkedIn, you can go see. I named them all out there and told you a little bit about what they were. If not, connect with me on LinkedIn and you will see that post that has all those out there. But they do 2 a day for the next few days, and they are wonderful sessions. I'm going to be watching a lot of them.
Oh, look, Margie's wanting to see. You want to see if we can get Margie back in?
I don't know.
You
want to go live? This is going to be live.
This is live. So we don't know if it's going to work, but we had trouble with Margie. We're going to let her in and see what happens.
Okay. All right. Here she comes.
Okay. Can you hear us
I'm
now?
in.
Okay. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yes. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good.
All right.
Good.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
all right.
gosh.
So let me reintroduce. Here's Margie Remmers-Davis, and we're excited to have her on Bookkeepers On Fire. And so glad she got her ticket. She's worked out, at least for the moment. And we're going to go with that. So I'm so glad you made it. And we're going to get started.
Great. Well, we already did our Ramp thing, so you didn't miss much there, Margie. And,
Okay, good.
but we're thrilled that you're here. We met for the first time in person at Reframe last year. I feel though I've known you forever because every time I open my Facebook, there you are.
You have a lot of Facebook ads.
Yeah, a lot of Facebook stuff. And so you tell us your history. You have a company called Acadian.com. That's an education company. So what did you do?
Education.
And what did you do before that? And what was the spark that made you start Acadian?
Yeah. So so I was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband had a midlife crisis and decided that he didn't want to be married anymore.
Oh, I had one of them.
And I was like, oh crap, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I mean, immediately when that happens, like I had all this adrenaline. I was like, okay, I got to get a job. I got to get a job. I got to get a job. And I tried to go out and, get a job. And I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal because I'm still smart. I'm still like technical. I'm still like, but then it turns out that when you're a middle-aged woman with a 20-year gap in her resume, people aren't all that excited. And so I, like so many people, started seeing ads. I started seeing ads for, to be a bookkeeper. And I had managed our daily finances. I had a little side hustle as a daily money manager, which is like a bookkeeper for people, for like I had senior citizen clients. And I didn't want to grow that because part of the problem with working with senior citizen client, I loved the work, but part of the problem is that they go crazy and they die. And so
Then you've got your kids to deal with.
yeah, exactly. So you have I didn't want to grow that. I had also had a little side hustle as a professional organizer, but I also didn't want to grow that because that is like very like physical work. In fact, that's how I got to become a daily money manager, is because I was doing physical, I was doing professional management or professional organization for a woman. And then she's like, well, can you do my paperwork stuff too and my finances? So anyway, so I tried to get a job, couldn't get a job. I started seeing ads and so I signed up for one of those programs. If I said who it was, you would all know, like everybody knows who this person is. Speaking of seeing ads, you would see, these ads, okay? So I signed up for this program and I thought, oh, this is going to be easy for me. Like this is a natural fit. And so the first thing my guru told me to do was to go and get my QBOA account and to go through the QBO training and then get certified. And then I would be able to like be a bookkeeper, right?
I know.
So easy.
So easy.
Yes. So I took that like hook, line, and sinker, right? So I did that. I went and did got my QBOA. I went and started doing the training, and the first thing that you experience, at least back then, it was just like a wall of words. It was just a wall of words, and I wanted to cry because I thought that this was going to be like, this was my answer, right? This was going to be something that like I could do. And I have a brain disorder that, it's not a learning disability, but it makes it difficult for me to learn through reading. And so Here I experienced this wall of words, and I'm supposed to like learn software. Like I'm just reading and I'm supposed to learn software. It was just like so overwhelming and so frustrating. And I as I was going through it, I just kept thinking I could do such a better job than this. And the reason that I thought that is because my life before marriage and kids, I worked for a medical software company and I was their training manager. I did training and development for software. I knew how adults learn. Like that was my whole life, my whole career, my experience. I traveled to across the United States teaching people how to use software. And I was going through the Intuit training and I was like, this is not it. This is not how you teach people to learn, teach people software or anything. But I couldn't chase that squirrel because I had to get my life together. Like I had to pay my rent. Like my husband and I had gotten married a little later in life. And so he already had the house. So like overnight I lost everything. I lost my marriage, my retirement, my home, my like everything just kind of overnight. And it was, yeah. So anyway, I was like, I kept thinking I could do such a better job than this, but I couldn't chase that squirrel because I had to like get my life together. So I powered through, I got my certifications, I went out into the world, and I discovered two really important things. One was that I was wholly unprepared to be a bookkeeper. As you guys know, getting that certification is not enough. And number two, I discovered that I was not the only one who was struggling, that I was not the only one having problems with the training. And finally, I couldn't ignore the pain anymore. I just kept hearing the pain, like, this training is so awful. And so finally, I was like, okay, fine, I will put together a course. I threw it out on the internet, and I had zero idea that it was going to be as massively successful as it was. Simply because I know how adults learn. Like, I know how to present material in a way that people actually get it, like that they actually understand it. So my first course was a QBO companion course to like help people get certified, not to help people cheat, but to help people actually learn the information in a fast and easy way so that they feel comfortable and they actually know what they're doing. And then immediately after that, people were like, well, can you do one for advanced? So I was like, all right. So I did one for advanced. Then payroll came out. Can you do one for payroll? All right, I'll do one for payroll. And then people said, okay, well, I've got these certifications, but I don't actually know what a bookkeeper does. Like, I know how to use the software, but like, what do I do in my daily life? So I was like, all right, well, one of the key reasons why my programs, my training was so popular is because I am so focused on hands-on learning. This is why when we met, Debbie, at Reframe, I was like so excited because that's their whole purpose too, is hands-on learning. And so I had already, that was one of the reasons why people loved my courses, because it was hands-on learning. You'll hear me say you can't learn how to ride a bicycle by watching a YouTube video. You have to actually do it.
Right.
You have to do it. So I already had experience. I was like, I already know how to teach people how to do this. I'll just package it together. And we created what we call the QBO Gym, which is a simulated year of experience where you're working with a fictitious business owner. And through the course of the year, a whole series of things are thrown at him. There's little animated videos that tell the story of what is happening. Like, for one of my favorites is we use the sample company from QuickBooks. And so Craig is a landscaper, and so something happened. So he got a job to work for a wedding planner, and this wedding planner had 2 weddings, and she wanted him to do the landscaping in preparation for these weddings. But each of these weddings had each of these jobs had disasters happen. Like, one of them, while they were trimming the bushes, a tree fell down, and so they have to go. And so it's all these stories. And so through this, they learn how to use projects in QBO through this realistic thing, and then track all these disasters happened. Well, which one actually ended up being more profitable? So they learn all of that. So we developed the QBO Gym. People love it. They actually get a year's worth of experience. It doesn't take a full year to get through. It takes about 42 real-time hours. Each month is about 3 or 4 hours. And we're like, wow, people love this. This is such a great thing. We should go sell it to accounting firms, because wouldn't they, isn't this a great way for people to learn? So we went and we started knocking on the doors of accounting firms saying, hey, look, we've got this, all these great courses. Wouldn't you like to buy our stuff? And what we heard over and over and over was, but do they know accounting? They know how to use software, but right. Do they know accounting? And we're like, all right, well, I guess we'll teach that. So now we developed our cornerstone course, which is called the Bookkeeping Fast Track, which teaches teaches the bookkeeping and accounting layer, but in a very structured piece by piece way, so that it is the Acadian way to learn, which is you learn a little bit this, and then you add layers, and then you add layers, so that it actually sinks in and you're actually doing it. everything that you do, you learn. We practice in the sample company. It's not a QBO course, but they practice in the sample company so they can see every time they do something, they then look at the transaction journal. What just happened? Do you understand the debits and credits? We go and we look at the reports and then we say, look at what just happened. Like, for example, if somebody pays an invoice, you apply the payment to the invoice, look at the balance sheet. Look what happened before. Look, what did it look like before? What did it look like after? So that by the time that they are done with Fast Track, they not only they have that understanding at a very deep level, but we've given that piece by piece, so it doesn't feel super overwhelming. So anyway, so that's where we are. My company is actually called Crystal Clear Cash Flow. That's the name of the company that I created when I, decided I was going to be a bookkeeper and all of that. And but people came to know me as Fast and Easy QBO because that was when I was doing the certification courses and the gym, people were like, oh, it's Fast and Easy QBO. But when we were developing the Bookkeeping Fast Track, well, this isn't QBO. We're teaching bookkeeping and accounting. And so we rebranded, and we are now Acadian Accounting Education. And it is the name Acadian. People always ask me.
That was my next question.
That was our question, yeah.
The Acadian Empire is the first recorded history of accounting in human history. So it was part of the Mesopotamian Empire, and it was like tracking sheep on a tablet or something. So it was like the first, only the Acadian Empire spelled with 2 Ks. And so we just took the K out because it looked better. Plus, I love it because it kind of sounds like accounting. It kind of sounds like academy. So it just fits.
I love it. And when did you do this? How long ago did you start?
Yeah, so 2020 is, I always say that COVID was really good to me because I got my business and my husband. So 2020 was when we launched our first program, and last year, so 5 years later, we landed at on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America.
Wow.
We're 200, which means that we're top 5% of companies nationwide.
Wow.
And,
how many people do you have work for you?
And it's really, we have about, a mix of employees and contractors. All total, we have about 25 people.
And where are you based out of? Where are you?
So I was living in Utah at the time that I started my company. So the company is based out of Utah, but I currently live in Virginia.
Okay.
In Southern Virginia.
Great. I know you're going to be a vendor at Scaling, and you're right now at a conference. What,
yes.
At Engage?
At BDO Engage. Yep.
Okay. And so are the accounting firms that you go talk to, are they buy into this, or they think it's a great idea?
So what's really interesting, one of the challenges that we have is that we look like everybody else. We look like everybody else. And so because of that, we kind of poo-poo, they're like, oh yeah, that should, they're just like, anything. But actually we're not. And so one of the challenges that we have is kind of helping people see, this is such a more comprehensive, deep program to help people really understand what it is that we teach. One of the things we're super excited about, and this is actually what we're promoting at the BDO Evolve right now, is our new assessment. So we now have an assessment where it is 46, the candidate is tested on 46 skill areas, and it's a long form test. So it's not like multiple choice where, if you just toss a coin, you could get the right answer. you have to actually articulate what the right answer is and why that is the right answer. And so that has been so fascinating to see into the minds of bookkeepers, because so many they just don't know. They think, oh, I've been doing this. I mean, we had a guy take the assessment who'd been doing it for 30 years, and clearly, you could clearly tell from his answers that he thought he was all that, and he tested at beginner level because he didn't understand certain things. One of the key things that we focus on and that we teach our students is being tax aware, so they actually learn entities and tax forms, and helping everything that they do is designed so that when they turn it over to the tax accountant, the CPA, whoever is going to be filing the taxes, it's easy for them. It's clear and it's easy, and the bookkeeper already knows to anticipate what they need. They need to know the gain or loss when you sell an asset. Those things, and so a lot of the assessment is making sure that they are tax aware, that they understand. And that's a lot of where the students frankly miss out, because they don't know that.
I think that's a real big thing, because I know I'm married to the tax guy in our office.
Yeah.
and when I give him the books to do a tax return, I have a whole page of notes.
Yep.
Because what's on the books does not necessarily translate to the tax return.
Yes.
And the big one is always, meals and entertainment. A client thinks if they, go out to eat and they stand in line at McDonald's and say hello to the guy behind them, that it's a deductible advertising expense. And I go, no. So what I do is I put it, the guy wants to see that on the books.
Yeah.
Then I schedule it out. I give him another set, and I say, don't count that. And the other thing too that's always irritating for tax pros is you have the cost of goods sold section.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the cost of, there's beginning inventory plus purchases less ending inventory gives you cost of goods sold. Well, it doesn't show like that on QBO.
Right.
So how always go, which number do I put where?
Yeah.
So if they use inventory, then it will. I said that's the purchases number. If blah blah blah. You have to explain it all to them, because I always think the tax return is a required report we have to do, but it's not the end all be all.
It's not. No.
And so other like auto and all that stuff. So I let the tax guy be the bad guy.
As well you should. As well as you should. Yeah.
I always ask them if I get a new one, and I'm like, okay, what do you need to see from me? And a lot of times, and this is bad on them, is they said, oh, it's fine, just send me the books. I'm like, there's a lot more to it here, but I'm not going to fight with them, because their attitude at me is usually they know better than me anyways.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'll just send you the books.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it for operations, and you figure out the rest.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important training bookkeepers and educating people that want to do this job, that we really have value with our knowledge.
Yes.
Because I think so many times, like you said, we said, oh, I know I can write checks in a checkbook. I know I'm going to start a bookkeeping practice. And then they get a set of books, and now the owner is telling them how to do stuff, and they're going, well, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to tell them what and then they go, well, I'm going to, it doesn't take me that long. I had one girl call me up, and she goes, I go, what are you charging a month? She goes, $200 a month. That's $50 a week. I go, if he had an 8-hour a day, 1 day a week, 8 hours at $20 an hour, that'd be $160 for 1 day. But it doesn't take me that long.
Yeah.
But I think the confidence level has to come with that. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So when they give pushback to these, nope, can't do that. Get separate bank accounts, separate stuff. Use the, I get it that they intermingle, especially these small guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then you, like the entity structure. Well, I could write off all my utilities because I'm a Schedule C. You might not want to do that because then, you know, when you sell the property, you're going to have to recapture that part of the stuff and you're going to have the gain on. Maybe not such a good idea, you know.
Yeah.
But so let's talk to the tax guy. I'm going to put in the other expense, you know. So so you have some ammunition when you talk to them. You feel small. So I think that's fabulous because it does drive Don and I talk when we're not on live YouTube about how we see these questions come on Facebook. You know,
we talk a lot about it.
Yeah. So we talk in Fast Track a lot about having communication with the CPA, like you talked about, Donna, and we said, you know, there's a whole spectrum of CPAs. So some CPAs are like super involved in the books and they're talking to them every day. They're really doing advisory services, and others, they talk to them once a year and they're just like,
print out the P&L, the balance sheet, and that goes on the return.
Yeah. And then the other aspect of that is having conversations with the business owner and helping the business owner understand how their books can actually guide their business, because most, I mean, you know this, like the business owners, they don't care. They don't want to know. They're not. But this is the big thing that I've been talking about is AI is replacing the button clicking. The business owners see bookkeeping as an expense that they want to get rid of or reduce. And so they're like, oh, wow, an AI can come and do this? Great, I'm going to fire my bookkeeper and we're just
that's what we're talking about. If AI can do this, what do I need you for?
Exactly.
And Don and I actually started a bookkeeping accounting firm to answer that question because they, you know, it's called getblizzard.ai, by the way.
Exactly. So we teach our students how to be valuable like that, how to have a conversation with the business owner. And, you know, I will say to my students, you know, I know we're all introverts. We all want to just like be in the corner and click our little, you know, be our little button, you know, like do our little thing. But those days are over. You can't, if you're going to survive in this, you have to add value. You have to be able to give. And I actually quote you a lot, Debbie, because I remember, because at Reframe, you said somebody asked you like how much you charge, and your answer was more. Because you knew that no matter what, I'm going to provide you with more value than any other like bookkeeper out there. And so that's like what we're teaching our students, to have that level of confidence and to have that skill to be able to say that, to be able to confidently say, this is how much I'm going to charge you, and here's why. Because we're going to have these conversations. We're going to go through your numbers. You're going to actually be able to trust them, and you're going to be able to have insight into your business and know like where to grow. So
now, if they buy the class, are they in the community? Do you have a community that they are in, or how does it work? How does the whole thing work?
Yeah, we actually have a free community called the Bookkeeping Skills Lab, where people can come, they can join, they can get, when they join the Bookkeeping Skills Lab, they get some of our free courses. So we have a Quick Start, we have a QBO Quick Start course, we have a Zero Quick Start course. They have a library of hands-on exercises where they can just on their own time, like practice. And I teach a free class on Fridays where they can come and as membership of the Bookkeeping Skills Lab. So that's for anybody who just wants to learn. If they purchase a course, they actually become one of our paid students. Then they have access to office hours, which is an opportunity to just like, you know, when you were in college and your professor is like, you can stop by on Tuesdays at 3 and I'll answer questions. It's the same. We have coaches who are EAs who are in our community, and they can stop by and help them one-on-one, whether that's in the course or that is with their actual client work. They'll help them. And so lots of opportunities. We also have something called Study Hall, which is co-working sessions where you can get together with other students, and you just put it on the calendar. You show up, you say, I'm going to work on whatever, and then everyone works, and then at the end, everyone congratulates each other on like what they were able to get accomplished.
Now, is the course self-paced? Meaning, if I signed up today, I could do it at my leisure?
Yep.
Or did okay. And then if can somebody just, like, you know, I have a lot of clients and they hire bookkeepers. That assessment exam, they just hired some new girl at one of my clients, and I went and looked actually this morning.
Yeah.
And she made a deposit, and of course the category was the bank account. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, I made it to the bank. Yes. Where's the source of the funds? I don't understand what you mean.
Oh no.
And I'm like, oh my God. You know, and then of course it's a HOA. So she was like receiving, I said, we invoice at the beginning of the month, you receive the payment on deposit, you know how it worked.
Yeah.
She was actually saying, oh, they paid. She would go to make a deposit, put their name in and put, you know, HOA fees. So I'm looking at the books for the first month she there. I said, we have double the fees this month.
Oh my God.
And the receivables never went away. I said, what did you do?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I do. You have to delete every single one of them and do it again. Oh, I called up the treasurer who hired. I said, I thought you told me she knew QuickBooks. Well, she said she did. They all say they do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh
I mean,
my God.
so if I had that assessment exam, you know, can you purchase that separately or?
So the assessment is totally free. It's free for the student, and it's free for any firm that wants to use it to highlight where the gaps are in the person's education.
Well, I'm going to have to take that test to see if I'm as good as I think I am first.
Yeah.
I know, that's the first thing. When you said free, I went, oh, I gotta go get that test.
Well, I think that's something that everybody should have in their arsenal. It's a real service you can add to your clients.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, my concept, so there's a couple of things that the assessment accomplishes. One is that if you're hiring somebody, if you have a job listing, you can require them to take the assessment and include the final report with their resume. Like, I now that this assessment exists and it's free and out in the world, why would anybody hire a bookkeeper without having them do this? Like, that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. It's so good. So that's in the hiring phase. And then if you have somebody who is, you know, that you have already hired and you want to see where the gaps are in their knowledge, like for example, we have a firm, so we have enterprise packages also. So the individuals can buy their own courses, but if you're a firm and you have a staff of people, you can buy an enterprise version of our courses, which is what that does is it adds a layer of oversight for just your people, so you can see like your 5 people and how they're doing, that kind of thing. So you can have your people take the assessment, see where the holes are, and then the great thing about our assessment is it will tell you exactly what course, like what module covers that. Like you don't really understand fixed assets, for example. So go back and study this thing, whatever. So that's another thing. So your existing people. I started to say we had a person who, she said, I hire people. This is one of our firm clients. She said, I hire people for a specific customer, for a specific client. And so I teach her how to do that specific client. But I would like to have her know more so that I can give her more clients. Like I want to know where her gaps are. So she's using us for that, and that's exactly it. So
now, do you have modules like how to use Ramp with QBO, Bill with QBO? So it's all based on QBO or Zero.
Yeah. So Fast Track itself is software agnostic. So it is. You're learning bookkeeping and accounting,
which they all should do.
We have, exactly. But we have, because we're so big on hands-on practice, and Intuit is the one that gives us the sandbox. Intuit's the one that gives, so they're learning QBO kind of by osmosis there. And then we add on, so then after that, we add on the gym layer where they're actually learning all of the features of QBO. And then Oh, and then Zero, right now for Zero, we only have just a quick start course and that's free for people who are, for people who just, want to learn about it and know how to get into it. It's just an introduction of the partner program and all of that stuff. And I've been talking so long, I forgot your question. So either I answered it
about
or
using like outside third parties. You go into how do you?
Oh yeah. The third part. Yeah, the third party. So we don't have any. We don't have any training on third parties, and the reason why is because we're all hands-on. Like everything we do is hands-on. So in order for a partner to, I would love to create a course on whatever Ramp, who is the partner of the week, right? I would love to do a course on Ramp, but if Ramp can't give me some kind of a sandbox or some kind of a sample, it just doesn't fit our education model.
And that's the challenge with a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, when I took the Ramp certification, they asked me at the end, how did you like this? And I said, it was good, but I want to see it in action. Show me a real person using this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they tell you what you want to know. I want to see it in real life.
Yeah.
Because it's always like when you get it in real life, it's nothing like they tell you.
Yeah.
Nothing. Now, have you started with digits or puzzle yet? Do you have anything for them?
No. If you have, I would love to talk to digits. So if you have a connection there, then I would love to.
Because that's all AI native. I mean, it's like, how is AI factoring into your education now?
So right now, we don't have any training on the AI tools that do bookkeeping. So so right now is recertification season for, QBO Pro Advisor. You guys have both gone through the recertification, so you know that it is the recertification this year is heavily on the AI tools. So we're building out our companion course to help people get recertified. And there will be some AI in there, and there's a little bit in the gym, I think now, for just the AI tools that are in QBO. But all of the tools that are AI bookkeeping, like we talked about, like digits, I don't know anything about puzzle. I'll have to look them up. But what's the other, Uplink, I think is another one.
I don't know. They're coming up.
I know there's so many. Like there's so many, and they're coming up like industry specific. Oh yeah, we'll do our industry specific. But I'll tell you what I think is going to happen is that we're in this bubble, and that there's like all of these tools they're coming. Oh, it's going to be so cool, and then it's going to drop off because they're going to discover, oh, actually, I don't know anything about bookkeeping and accounting.
Yep.
And so our tool doesn't actually do what the accountants need. And so, so I think there's going to be a big drop off.
Now, how much does it cost to join as an individual, take a K? If I wanted to become an Acadian student, full bore, what would it cost me?
Full bore, so we have a program that is called the Complete Roadmap, which includes, and this was the other half of your question about the AI, is so we have a full program called the Complete Roadmap, and that includes all of our course offerings in a very where we tell you to go through them in a specific way, and it comes with an accountability coach. So you actually have for 12 weeks a person who's going to be on your tail to make sure that you get your work done. And because so many people like buy course, me included, buy courses and they just sit on the shelf, right? We want our mission at Acadian is to create bookkeepers who are so good people don't want to work with anybody else. Like that people actively say, I want an Acadian bookkeeper. Okay, so we are on a mission to change the world and to get rid of the people like you guys, some of the people you've been describing, they don't know, they're from a hole in the ground. These are people's livelihoods. That's the thing. There has been this huge wave. There's been this huge wave of and you've all seen it, and I fell victim to it. This huge wave of anybody can do it. It's so easy. It's, all you need, you don't, like we were talking about earlier, like you don't need a license, you don't need, like, anybody can be a bookkeeper. Just go get your pro advisor certification. But what they fail to, and that's what we're fighting against, by the way, that's what we're fighting against. And our challenge is people see us and think that we're like those people, but that's not at all what we're doing. We are all about creating high quality. We have high standards, and we have those high standards because this is people's livelihood. Like this is not just like doing math on the back of a napkin. Like this is how children get fed. Like this is how, like, this is how people, have jobs. Like it is a serious thing. And there's just been this wave of like, oh yeah, it's not that big deal. It's not that big deal. So
now, do you ever talk to business owners about the importance of bookkeeping and accounting? Because we know as accountants and bookkeepers that matters, but do business owners know? They think it's just,
Yeah. So that is coming soon. We have a whole series coming soon about that is helping business owners understand what they need to look at for their businesses to thrive. So and the thing is that none of that happens if the bookkeeping isn't good. So garbage in, garbage out. I recently had a mentor recommend the book Simple Numbers by I think it's Greg Crabtree. It's not Randy Crabtree. It's Greg, I think, Crabtree. And it's all about the numbers that you should be tracking as a business owner to help you. The first chapter is like how much you should be paying yourself. And he says, okay, you're going to look at the balance sheet. You're going to see this number. You're going to see that number. And I started reading that book because a mentor told me to. And I started reading this book and I was like, the problem with this is that none of this, not a single one of these things you can do if you don't have good bookkeeping in the first place. If you don't have good bookkeeping, you cannot follow this advice. So we have a series coming soon about the critical things that a business owner, that the business owner needs. But to go back to the full package for a minute, I talked about the accountability coach, and this is important for AI because we were talking about AI tools, is the complete roadmap includes a suite of AI tools to help you run your business. So it includes, it includes things like role play, so you can role play with a person, with an AI agent to practice, or like one of them is to like help you define your niche. So it will help ask questions about like your history and your interests and all of this. And then once you've decided on a niche, it talks about your pain points or the pain points of that and the KPIs that niche might be interested in so that you can learn and be a better service. I'm a big believer in niching down. Because again, like we were saying earlier, you can't be a general, like you can't do everything. The more you specialize, the better it is. So anyway, and then one of my favorite tools is this role play of talking to a prospect. So if you're talking to a prospect, it's like a discovery call. We call it a clarity conversation, but it's basically that, or a consultation or whatever. And we teach them a structured way to talk to, we teach them a structured way to talk to that prospect to build rapport and then help identify the pain points and then to help them see themselves as a solution. And you can role play. One of our AI tools is you can role play and you can say what the prospect business is. We can say what the prospect's gender is, their personality type, and then you just talk to them as if they were a role play. We had one student who used that, and then he had a call coming up, and so he wanted to practice and prepare. And so he did that. If you have that conversation, and then it rates you at the end, like how well you did on that conversation, so you can improve, Anyway, he had a call coming up. He was nervous. He went through the thing, and then he got on the call, and he said it was nearly identical. The real conversation was nearly identical
Wow.
to talking to the actual prospect. So So yeah, so we have a whole suite of tools that come, and yeah. So the price is always changing. So I hesitate to say on a live thing because it might, who knows what might change.
On what's today? On May 5th,
Yeah.
2026.
Cinco de
Today's
Mayo.
price is. Today's price.
It's Taco Tuesday and it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
So
Also
today's
remember the
price?
5th.
So I
Why
was
don't they go to the
always ask
website to look
I
at the
don't want
price?
people to go, I can't afford that. Sounds like too much. you
yeah,
know.
yeah. I mean,
So-
it's not cheap. I mean, we're talking about a career. We're talking about a career here. We're not talking about, this. You can't just. This is a serious thing. Like we've talked about. How much did you pay to go to college?
Give your prices on the website, so if they go to your website, they can see how much it costs today.
Yeah, for the individual courses. If you want the full package, then you have to talk to one of our advisors. But
Okay. Now, do you have any package on pricing? How to price your jobs?
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's another one of our AI tools. Is so we teach you how to actually do to go and do a diagnostic review. We teach you how to. So once they have laid the foundation of Fast Track and they know what good looks like, they know what it's supposed to look like, then they can take our cleanup course, which teaches them how to do a diagnostic review, how to.
And that's the one Corey wrote, right? Corey wrote that.
She wrote a version of it. She's no longer under contract with us, so we have our own version of that.
Okay.
But yeah, so we go in, we teach you how to scope, we have a pricing calculator that you like check off like what the things you found, and then you click a button and it tells you how much to charge for that.
And it's high, right? It's not like $200 a month.
Oh yeah, no. It factors in your base rate and the complexity and the volume of what you're looking at. Yeah, for sure.
Good. So everybody puts in a base rate, which nobody does.
Yeah. So one of the things that, and I lost my train of thought. You're smart mouth, Debbie.
Well, we went like way over.
I wanted her to keep going. I can keep going.
All
That's
right.
okay. I
I
was
think we're going
fascinated.
to go ahead
I
and
didn't realize we
wrap
had a
it.
deadline.
No,
Yeah,
we did.
we're gonna-
Usually, most people think, "Hey, get me out of here real quick," but you were doing
Oh
so
my
great.
gosh.
And I was fascinated by this Acadian thing. I think everybody should sign up because let's
Oh,
pretend
yes.
that, I don't know if it costs. Let's say it costs $10,000.
Uh-huh.
You'll make that on one client.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think this has been fabulous. I'm so glad you got your technical stuff fixed.
Yes.
You know.
No,
So-
me too. Me too. I don't know what that was about. That was crazy.
We got it fixed. Who cares? We
Yeah.
got it fixed.
And it was
You know-
so hard. I'm so honored that you guys asked me to be
Oh, I'm
here.
thrilled. When I found out you were coming on the show, I go, she's a real big shot. She's a big shot. You know.
It's so hard to get a slot. Like you guys are so popular. Everybody wants to be on here.
Well, we're thrilled you're
Yeah.
here. And then you're right now you're at something.
So right now I'm at BDO Evolve.
And then
And-
where do you go next?
In June I will be at Scaling New Heights.
And you have a booth at Scaling.
We have Scaling, yep.
And
we
Don
are
and I will be at Scaling.
We're unveiling something new at Scaling.
Oh,
Yeah. So
that's exciting.
We'll
Yeah,
make
Don and
sure-
I are on stage at Scaling. Don is doing
Awesome.
a theater. We're doing a walking tour. I'm teaching a
We
class.
got tour, we got interviews, we got all kinds of
There's a lot of
stuff going
going
on.
at Scaling. So
Awesome.
Scaling's like the high. That's the Oscars of our month
Yes.
every year. We just don't have to wear the fancy gowns.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
can't wait to see you at Scaling. So we'll
I
have to
know.
do lunch or dinner or something,
For sure.
you know, or breakfast if nothing else,
Yeah.
you know. And but thank you
The
so
world-
much, Margie. So
the
if there's
world
one
doesn't
thing you
know.
could tell all the people that are listening, what's the one big thing you would want everybody to leave with?
The one big thing. I would just encourage everybody to take this seriously. There's just too there's too many bad bookkeepers in the world. I met a guy a couple weeks, I know we're so over time, but
Keep
I-
going.
Okay, go.
I met a guy a couple weeks ago who he helps people sell their businesses, And he did this presentation like about that, like what do you have to have in place to be able to sell your business. And the first thing he said was bookkeeping. You have to have good bookkeeping. And then he listed off like all these other things. He talked about like the whole process and everything. And I came up to him afterwards, introduced myself, and and I asked him, like, of all of the businesses that you have helped sell their businesses, how many of them had books that were ready to go and in order? And he looked at me like I was crazy, and he said, none of them. None of them.
Right.
None of them. So yeah. So if the biggest impact that we can make on the world to like help people, whether it's you're selling your business, or whether it's, you're getting a loan, or, just being able to grow your business and understand, what the numbers tell a story. And
Right.
if you're not paying attention, that's how, like, it's bad for everybody. So anyway, so take it seriously. This is people's livelihoods. And
Okay, I have one more question for you.
okay.
What does your first husband now say?
I know. I know. I don't think I have said frequently. So I have over 40,000 students that have gone through our programs. And I frequently tell them that they should send him a thank you note, because if that had never happened, this whole company, they like all of the success stories that I have seen, over the years, like none of that would happen.
So you really turn lemons into lemonade. Anything bad, you can flip it around.
Yeah. So we should send him an avalanche of thank you notes.
Send his
But
address.
but honestly, I don't think he even knows or cares. I don't think.
Yeah. But,
I don't think he's ever asked my kids.
but we thank him for that. Think he wanted to good. Well, we're so happy for your great success.
Thank
I'm
you.
thrilled that you joined us here today. So we will see you at Scaling.
Yes.
And Donna, let's sign off.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Margie, for joining us today. It was so great to hear your story, and thank you, everyone who joined us on Bookkeepers on Fire today. So if this conversation stuck with you, carry it forward. Your work matters. And as Margie said, take it seriously, because your voice does matter and you matter. So if you're a bookkeeper or an accounting pro and would like to be a guest on Bookkeepers on Fire, find our link in the show notes to sign up and get notified when new dates are released. And we'll see you next time.